You know what I like about Fridays so much? Not only is it the end of the work week for all of you guys, but generally speaking, all the technical crap I've figured out on Wednesday. So Friday and Saturdays generally tend to go pretty good. Knock on wood, all that stuff. But yeah, so far so good. Everything looks like it's working. I'm working here in the chair. I'm just building up a head of steam, as it were, to head into the Paranormal Portal. And thank you all. You're right, Aussie. Good eye. Aussie said the ghost radar is not on. Well, that's not working. Way to jinx it, huh? I just said it, and then not everything's working, but this is easy enough to fix. So let me do that quick. What is it? The 29th. Wow. It's almost September. My God, folks. Where is the time going? Is it just me, or as you get older, doesn't time like fly now? It's like, oh my God. It was literally spring 5 minutes ago, I swear. And now it's almost fall. It's so crazy. I can't get my head around these time anomalies that we experience. Hello, Miss Barbara over in Rumble. Good to see you. Woohoo, yum, and it's Friday. It is. Absolutely. Hello, Bogart. Truther Tinfoil's in the house. Good to see you, brother. T-Bone's here. John Temperance here. Bill Simone's here. John Stevenson. We got the Johns represented. Excellent. Excellent. What do we got else? Aussie Tigers here. Rachel gets it right. BJ Lapierre is here. Dakota Illicit is here. Great to see you all. And let me keep scrolling because Karen Elberding is here. Happy Girl is here. A little stuffy, sorry. A little late season allergy or something. Deborah Neighbors is here, and T-Bone. But I think that might be everybody so far. If I'm missing anybody, I will get you as soon as I see you. That's what I see so far. But welcome everybody that is here. Cool Hand popped in. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for coming in as well. We got a full boat of fun here. I got a ton of, Mark, Eddie, how you doing, brother? You did make it on time. I just started the show, but good to see you. I was watching a little bit of you and Brian the other night. That was a good interview. Nice job, guys. So tell Brian, give him my regards in case he's not out here listening somewhere in the ethers of the interwebs. But, yeah, I hope you guys caught Lon Strickler, who was on just a little bit ago. I didn't catch it myself, and I always kick myself because I love listening to Lon as I get ready to do my Friday show. It's such a cool thing to sit back and listen to Lon and what he's got to say, and then suddenly it's showtime, and then I get to say stuff, and then after me, usually Dave Scott is coming on. I don't think Dave is live, though, this week. They've got a lot of things going on. But at any case, you can always go over there and check out any number of incredible shows that he's done. He's got a hell of a back catalog, too. I don't know how many Dave has over there on Spaced Out Radio, but it's got to be in the neighborhood of me or better. Actually, it's kind of a good question. I'm kind of curious. Now I'm curious. Now I want to know, how many does Dave have? Let's do a little investigating, shall we? Let's see what it's said that Mr. Scott has over there on Spaced Out Radio. It's radio. Let's see what he's got. I'll bet you he's got a ton. Let's see. Why am I not finding it? Usually it's so easy to find these channels, but I don't see it there. That's weird. Spaced. Maybe it's spaced. All one word. Let's see how that works. There it is. Found him. Found him. Oh my goodness. He has a lot more videos than I have. Mr. Dave Scott has literally 3,913 videos on his YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. So I think he's got the record for anybody I know. I'm about at 2,000 videos, and Dave's a full 1,000 videos ahead of me. And he's climbing because he's always got streams happening all the time. So that's cool. There's a lot of Spaced Out Radio for you guys to check out. It makes just for a great Friday run. I'm sure there's many of you or most of you out there haven't caught all 3,913 episodes. I know I haven't. So, yeah, that's cool. I didn't realize that he had so many, but he's been at it longer than I have. So that makes sense. But we, of course, are going to be getting into the news here shortly. and we'll definitely see what's going on in the world around us. There's an update on the space chunk of whatever, whether it's an alien craft or if it's a piece of debris or a meteorite or whatever it is that's coming into our solar system. There's apparently an update on it, and it sounds really interesting. So we're going to be covering that in the news here shortly. Then we're going to get to some more takes from that article from Thought Catalog, and then we're going to get into what the hell is that? I couldn't remember the name of my own segment. Oh man, getting old sucks. I'm losing that mental elasticity. It's like things are calcifying or getting more rigid in my head. I just don't understand it. Getting old sucks, folks. I do know that. So we're going to get into that, and then we'll get into the Cryptid Corner to round out the whole show. Once again, tomorrow's show is live as usual, but then after that, I'm off for the next week. I'm going to be down in Vernal, Utah at an incredible conference in Vernal, Utah called Phenomicon. And it's been a lot of fun. I've loved going to Phenomicon every year. We've just had a wonderful time. They do a hell of a job down there. It really is. And I've grown to know so many people down there at Phenomicon. So it's pretty amazing. I'll put it up on screen. I don't know that it's even possible to go check it out now if you don't already have tickets, because I'm seeing that it said it was sold out. I don't see that. Yeah, it does. It says 2025 Phenomicon is sold out, but they may have a video that you can check out of the conference. I don't know how for sure to get a hold of that, but I'm sure if you go to phenomicon.net. But this is Phenomicon, folks. It's sold out. It's just a hell of a setup. They have just a wonderful host of speakers and presenters, and you can see them here if you go over. I mean, look at all those faces. So many of us know and are familiar with. I think it'll be great to meet with Mr. Whitley Strieber. That'll be cool. I've never met him before, but Cindy Kazaa as well. Nick Pope was there last year. Just a wonderful lineup of incredible people. So, yeah, if you can, maybe for 2026, try to get to Phenomicon if you can. It's a 4-day conference. It's a huge marathon, but it's a hell of a thing. And of course, my friends Cherie Rathman and Tony Rathman will be presenting their Staticom research at Phenomicon. So that's going to be an exceptional, cool event. And then after this, well, later in September, I'll be going to the Crossing Realms Conference, ladies and gentlemen. And this is happening in Missouri. This is, I think, the 18th and 19th. 19th and 20th, rather, in Richmond, Missouri. And so there are still tickets available for this. So if you want to come check it out, if you live in the central part of the U.S. or can get there, come check it out, the 19th and 20th in Missouri, Richmond, Missouri. And I'll be there, as will a whole host of incredible people. All of the other shows in the, as Tex says, the Isle of Misfit Toys. All of the toys will be there, myself included. However, I may require batteries. I'm just saying. My toy is batteries not included. So I'm going to be there. And then later, after that, as if that weren't enough, folks, then coming up in October, and there's one before that. It's going to be a smaller event in Wallace, Idaho, but that'll be happening 19th and 20th, 3 days if you're a ticket holder. Going to have a shindig on Thursday night. That's true. There you go. Thank you, Brandon, for fleshing that out a little bit. In October, I'll be here. So this is my schedule as it stands now. I know it's going to be a busy fall for me. I was really planning on doing a lot of these things all through the year, but it didn't work out that way, and that's okay. But in October 24th, I'm going to be hanging out with the Hometown Ghost Stories guys at the Barrel House Z in Weymouth, Massachusetts, and we're also adding on a ghost hunt. That'll be kind of fun. So if you're over on the East Coast and you want to come hang out with us, by all means, check it out. You can go to Eventbrite for both Crossing Realms Conference and for the Hometown Ghost Stories live event. Go to eventbrite.com, look up those events, and you can check it out. I will be there. I will be at both of those. unless something, God forbid, should come up. But I plan on being there. I am scheduling it into my life. So that's the beginning. Next week is where it all begins. It's going to be a marathon for September and October for me, but it'll be an incredible time. So I guess without further delay, I should get you guys to the news, and we'll dig into that. Well, guess that's, what is that? That leaves me Spooky Spectacle, Granbury, Texas in September. Oh, that sounds fun. I would go down to that one too if I could, Linda. That would be fun. I would go to every conference I could. I just so you know, I mean, I'm thrilled to get out there and meet you guys and go and spread the word about the portal every chance I can. It's just, I mean, it's honestly, it's, you know, financial usually. And the fact that I have a family and I can't just, you know, be a hobo or a gypsy all summer long, but I will go to every conference that I can for sure. So if you hear of a conference in your neck of the woods, let me know. It might be possible that I could be there. So I just don't know all of the conference going on anywhere, everywhere. So plug me in. Email me at paranormalportalradio@gmail.com if you know of a conference coming up and you think, hey, I'd love to see the portal there, because maybe you will if I know about it. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get to the news, and we'll see what the hell's going on in the world around us. T-Bone gifting 5. Oh, T-Bone's dishing out some love right off the bat. God bless you, T-Bone. Who got the 5 memberships? The Sawyer Cookbook got one. Congratulations, the Sawyer Cookbook. That's a new name I'm not familiar with. Wes Scratch Perry. I don't know what that means. Hope your Perry gets better. Nocturnal Frequency Radio got one. Mike Bothwell got one. And XX Pantera XX got one. So congratulations to all 5 of you. Thank you so much, T-Bone. You're a superstar, man. I appreciate it so much. It's awesome. I think there's one in Sudbury, actually. Where's Sudbury unknown? Let me know. First summer I've not done one investigation. You know, I only did one so far this year, Sinfully Wicked. And Charles and I planned on doing tons of them this year, but we've only done the Ryan Hotel in Wallace just a couple of weeks ago. I love investigating. I would go all the time if I could, but you got to find places that'll let you in. So, thank you, Sinfully Wicked. She renewed. 6 months member. God bless you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you to all you members. It really, you guys have no idea how much those memberships are really helping to keep the lights on here. So thank you so much. That and the super chats and the super stickers, all of that goes a long way. And please don't ever feel compelled or encouraged to do that if it's not something you can comfortably do. I really don't want your money if things are tight. And believe me, I get that. I get that a lot. Because, you know, honestly, I think we're all just making ends meet. So don't give if it's more than you can do. If you can do, God bless you, thank you. If you can't, just support the show how you can. Like it. Like these streams, comment on the ones that aren't live, and recommend the show to others. That is a huge endorsement for me, and it doesn't cost you anything. So there's lots of ways to support the show. But, oh my God, what happened? Who did this? Sinfully Wicked. Oh, that was Cryptical Crossroads gifted 10. I thought Sinfully Wicked just updated. Never mind. Thank you, Cryptical Crossroads. It's raining here. You guys are amazing. All right, so let's see. Sinfully Wicked, as I mentioned before, got a membership from Cryptical Crossroads. Thank you so much, Cryptical Crossroads. That's quite a mouthful. Angel Martin got one. Plumbing Explained got one. Oh, that's a channel I need to check out. Plumbing Explained, ladies and gentlemen. That sounds awesome. So I'd like to check out your videos, man, because one thing I'm not is a plumber. Peace Rose got one. Woo Riders DG got one. Brian S got one. Sasquatch 420 THC got one. What do you mean there, I wonder? Rob Stewart got one. Gypsy 6873 got one. Taco Violator is now a member. God bless you, Taco. It's about time. Jesse Wilkins. Oh, there's the man right there. Jesse and I have been working on some music, guys, and I'm really pumped because this man is a genius. Jesse Wilkins of Hometown Ghost Stories. He's a freaking genius with music, I'm telling you. So it's been really fun to collaborate with him. I was going to say corroborate. The God Index got one. Auntie Entity got one. Chaos Killer got one. Bear's Dad got one. As well as Nicholas Wasserab. So congratulations, all you guys. Thank you once again to Cryptical Crossroads. That's our very own Josh Casto. You're a superstar, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate all that. You guys are amazing. I hope you guys enjoy being a month members. Those of you that got gifted memberships, you are a month member of the channel. Hopefully you find some merit in it and you want to continue, but if not, I get it. What happened? Oh my God, Christy. Whoa. You guys are going to make me cry. You're going to make me cry. I'm getting all misty here. Honestly, that is really incredible. Thank you for all the generosity. I really appreciate it. You guys are really incredible. Thank you so much. Wow. You guys are amazing. Okay. All right. Let's get to the news. I've been saying we're getting to the news. Now we're getting to the news. All right. So let's get to the news. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The news. I didn't know that. Sinfully Wicked, you donated 5 as well? Oh my God. What's going on here? What's going on here? I got to scroll up and see if I can find that. I'm sorry I missed that, Sinfully Wicked. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah, okay. Member for 6 months. Oh, you gifted 5. Okay. Gifted 10 for Cryptical Crossroads. Gifted 5 for Sinfully Wicked. Oh my God! I thought I was confused. There's so much generosity going on here, guys. I can't even keep the gifting messages straight. Thank you guys so much. Sinfully Wicked, God bless you. Thank you. I saw that you said this is the first channel you've ever watched. I'm honored. I'm just so thrilled, and I appreciate you being with me for all this time, and all of you guys. Thank you so much. I feel like I'm getting an award here tonight. Like I'd like to thank my parents. You guys are incredible. Thank you so much. I can't believe you guys. Wow. I'm just trying to keep up, and you guys are making it rain in here. I can't even focus on my news. So we support you, Brent. You guys do. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. It really means the world to me. I don't know how you guys found my show and how you made it a home, but God, I can't tell you how thankful I am that you did. Because, the show is all about a community more than it's just me pretending I know what the hell I'm talking about. But it's so amazing. So I don't know what to say. You guys are incredible. Thank you so much, every one of you. I really appreciate it. All right, let's get to the news. As you know, we dive into news stories. Sometimes they're paranormal. Sometimes they're just weird or interesting or fun or bizarre, and maybe even just educational. I hope you guys don't mind. Chucky Danger, good to see you. And thank you, BJ. I saw your message about we love you. That's very, very sweet. Thank you. I love you guys too. I truly do. So we're going to get to the news stories that I've got pulled up. We utilize a lot of different sites on this show. So please, please, please support these sites. When you hear me mention a source, please visit them. Please go over to their channels. Check them out, their websites. There is so much incredible information on all of these sites. So Wes was my first listening. That's how I found you. Oh, cool, John. Yeah, Wes is a gateway drug to all of us. You got the Chronicles. That's what I'm saying. They used to call it the Chronic, but now it's the Chronicles. All right. Yeah, it was a great time to be on Wes's show. And Wes found me, honestly. I wouldn't be where I'm at now without that man. So I guess we all found each other eventually somehow. All right, so let's get to the articles and see what the hell's going on. Good to see you, Chucky. Thanks for coming in, brother. I found you from Bigfoot Odyssey. Oh, yeah, Kerry Arnold. Yeah, our wonderful friend, God rest his soul. I miss that man. Ugh. Yeah, anyway, let's get to the articles and see what we got going on here tonight. We're going to start, like I said, I was teasing this article a little bit before the show. I think we're all kind of curious. What is that thing moving into our solar system, and what is it? There's obvious speculation that it's not a natural object, that is some kind of extraterrestrial intelligence, that it might be intelligently controlled. And I don't know. I mean, I'm only getting pieces and bits of this story, and I've heard all the speculation. I've heard the attempted debunking of all that, and I guess honestly we'll find out eventually, because it's coming closer, and I guess we'll all know exactly what it is, or kind of what it is at some point. But for now, there's a lot of ideas being thrown out there, and I don't know. But let's see what it is in this article, because this is from an amazing site, unexplained-mysteries.com. Space and Astronomy Files, Interstellar Visitor shows signature of industrial production. Oof. This is brand new, folks. This just came up, and I was like, wow, we got to find out about this here. It says new spectroscopic data from observations of the object have hinted that it might be artificially constructed. Oof. Wow. The object, known as 3I Atlas, was first revealed on July 1st following its discovery by the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, or ATLAS, a robotic astronomical survey which uses multiple telescopes to scan the night sky for small near-Earth objects. I had to breathe there. Believed to measure about 12 miles across, the object is heading toward the inner solar system at 152,000 miles per hour. While many scientists believe that 31 Atlas is likely to be a comet, others, such as Harvard's Professor Avi Loeb, maintain that it could in fact be under intelligent extraterrestrial control. Now a new paper analyzing spectroscopic data recorded by the Very Large Telescope, that's the name for that telescope, Very Large Telescope, or VLT for short. That's great. Has highlighted a peculiar anomaly in the plume of gas surrounding the object. Most notably, it seems to contain nickel, but not iron, which, according to Loeb, is something you would typically expect to see in the industrial production of nickel alloys. Natural comets generally show iron and nickel simultaneously, as both elements are produced together in the ejecta of supernova explosions, he wrote. Is this anomaly another clue for a possible technological origin of 31 Atlas? The paper suggests chemical formation through the nickel carbonyl channel, carbonyl, I guess, which is an extremely rare and exotic possibility in comets, whereas it is a standard technology for industrial nickel refining. So could this be further evidence that 31 Atlas was artificially constructed? On the one hand, I would be pleased if 31 Atlas turned out to be a CO2-rich comet, implying that humanity is not at risk from alien technology, Loeb wrote. But on the other hand, humanity desperately needs a wake-up call to avoid self-destruction. Well, there is that. I mean, I guess Ronald Reagan kind of said it best in the 80s when he said, I'll bet you we could all put aside our differences pretty quick if someone was coming to pay us a visit. And I think that's probably true. It would, I think, could very well unite humanity. I just hope it doesn't take something like that, unless they're happy and want to pitch in and kind of correct our path a little bit. That'd be fine. But there you have it, folks. The nickel ejection, I don't know how to say it in more layman's term, but the exhaust or whatever the gases coming off of this thing as it's moving doesn't seem to be natural, because there's no iron. It's just nickel. So, well, there you go. I didn't know that before today. I found out now, and I think it's interesting. There you go. Again, we'll all find out eventually, because it continues to move closer, and it will make these observations probably more easy for us to see and get a good look at. I don't know if they're going to redirect that other orbiter that was around Jupiter or Saturn or something and hopefully get a better look at it. I hope they do, because it's kind of important. I hope that they can do that and do that, because I think we should probably know or have an idea what we're looking at. Not that if they did find out that we would necessarily find out. Let's say they find for sure that this is extraterrestrial in origin, meaning that it was manufactured and it's being intelligently controlled. Do you think they would just go, hey, everybody, we're screwed. There's someone driving that? Or do you think it would be, nothing to see here, folks. Just mind your business. I'm expecting the latter, honestly. I'm expecting that they wouldn't just suddenly go, hey, guys, we're in trouble. I don't think they would, because the whole mass panic, people digging holes in their yard and throwing 20-year survival packs into it and wishing for the best. I imagine some people would probably take it like that, honestly, but I don't know. I think they're already here. I don't think this is really news in the grand scope of things, because I think they've been here for quite a while. But anyway, I guess we'll find out. If they are like Alien Nation aliens. It might not be horrible. Yeah. Well, there's that. There is that. I hope it is aliens, that they are the benevolent kind. Yeah, amen, Chucky. I'm with you there. Jim Gwynn says, love greenhounds. They're amazing dogs. I think they are cute. They're pretty adorable dogs. They're a little energetic, though. Oof. I seriously ponder with all of my operations if one has operated on me. I don't know what that. Yeah, I mean, do you think you're an abductee sinfully? Is that what you're saying? I've often wondered the same thing. I sometimes find things on my body. It's like, where'd that come from? But I think it's just getting old. Our bodies start doing all kinds of science fiction as we get old. Like, who the hell needs hair growing out of your ear? Somebody please explain that one to me, because I didn't need hair in my ear all my life, and suddenly it's like I can nearly braid some of the crap coming out of my ear. It's like, what the hell is that for? Why now? I don't know. But it's literally like science fiction. So anyway, those are my personal questions. I don't have any answers, but that's the first article. But don't worry, we got more. I got more articles for you. I wanted to cover that one right away, because that's one I think we've all been kind of waiting for some updates on. Well, that's the latest update that I know of. So if anything new comes up, I will keep you posted. All right, here we go. I didn't know. I don't know if this is a big thing or not. I guess it is kind of, because it sounds like we're kind of starting to identify some of the aquatic life up in the Antarctic. And I guess this is a big deal, but maybe it's not. We'll see what you guys think. From Nature and Environment of unexplained-mysteries.com comes incredible footage shows rare Antarctic squid for the first time. There's squid up there, or down there. I don't know. Didn't they know that, or didn't they think they were there? I don't know why this is big, but let's see. Underwater cameras have captured the first ever footage of a live Antarctic gonate squid in its natural habitat. That looks like a big sea of blackness. Is that its natural habitat? Okay. Spotted more than 7,000 feet beneath the cold waters of the Southern Ocean, the elusive cephalopod was filmed by a remote-operated vehicle deployed by the Schmidt Ocean Institute research vessel RV Falkor. Wasn't Falkor the name of that dragon, that white fluffy dragon from the Never-Ending Story? I think so. The crew had been planning to look for signs of life in the depths of the Powell Basin at Antarctica's northern tip, but were forced to deploy elsewhere due to thick ice blocking their way. The creature, an Antarctic gonate squid, had never been filmed alive before now. Did they film dead ones before? Or ever before? I don't know what that means. This is, to the best of my knowledge, the first live footage of this animal worldwide. Squid expert Kate Bolstad of the Auckland University of Technology told National Geographic. Usually the only evidence found of these creatures is their remains caught up in fishing nets. Oh, okay. Excuse me. The squid is one of a growing number of animals to spend almost their entire lives in the deep ocean where no light penetrates. A place enveloped at all times in perpetual inky blackness. So it wasn't as funny as I said then. It is now only thanks to advances in technology that we've been able to catch a glimpse of the creatures that reside in this environment. Given how large this region actually is, however, we have barely even scratched the surface. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know how big this is. It could be the size of a like a bratwurst, or it could be the size of a car. I don't know what this means. It doesn't really give us any scale. So if it's like giant, then that's freaky. But if it's about the size of a paperclip, it's like, okay, all right, there's a little squid there. I guess, I don't know why it should matter, but to me, that's a big thing. Well, it's like, if it's the size of a booger, then okay, all right, great. There's lots of things that size. Anyway, there you go. Some Antarctic life being discovered. You might never heard of that before, but now you have. So that's good, I think. All right, let's get to the next one. I don't know if I want to, well, yeah, I guess we could check this one out. I want to look at the other one here. Oh, this one's kind of creepy. This one makes me wonder, which ones don't we need? From unexplained-mysteries.com. Let me look at, yeah, it's not too long. From unexplained-mysteries.com comes this article. And here you go. Future humans are likely to lose several redundant body parts. Which ones don't? Which ones are we giving up here? I mean, we got 2 eyes, but we have stereoscopic vision. We have 2 ears. We have stereoscopic hearing. Which ones don't we need that we have more than one of? Like kidneys? Are we going to lose that? Let's see what it says. A few thousand years from now, some of the human body's less useful adaptations are likely to disappear. Our species have evolved a great deal over the years, so it stands to reason that we will continue to change well into the future, albeit in more subtle ways. One in particular, drastic and persistent changes in our diet, environment, and lifestyle compared to our ancestors means we no longer need things that were once quite important, like an appendix, maybe. Yeah. One example is the tailbone or the coccyx, something that's relatively useless nowadays, but it was once an important part of our ability to balance, especially when climbing in trees. Oh, really? I had no idea that had any use. Scientists believe that in the future, this leftover relic will get smaller and may even disappear entirely. The same is true for the appendix. There you go. An organ that once helped our ancestors digest cellulose-rich plants, but that today seems more of a liability given its vulnerability to appendicitis. Yeah, I was there. I did that one once. Our ear muscles are another example. These would have once enabled us to change the direction of our ears to aid listening, but are today little more than a party trick, if you can even move them at all. Yeah, I can't do nothing with mine. Finally, body hair. Ooh, let's get rid of the ear stuff. Finally, body hair is something else that serves little purpose. I like the head hair, though, and eyebrows. I'm good with those. Let's keep those. The rest of it can go to hell. That's fine. I hate shaving. Unless you like beards, then maybe you want to hang on to that. But while it might have once helped us stay warm outside in cold environments, today it's more of a nuisance that a lot of people tend to remove for cosmetic reasons. In the future, it's quite possible that we will eventually become completely hairless. There you go. No offense to any hairless people out there. That's fine. I mean, some people look good like that. Other people, not as much. But I think I would be on the not as much people. But, yeah, well, there you go. There it is. I guess we don't have to worry. It's going to be a while. It's going to be a while before those kick in, but you may not have known that before today. You're welcome. Now you know. So, there you go. This has been a presentation. I like beards, so I'll keep facial hair definitely. Well, fair enough, Wizard Moon. I got to admit, I kind of like it's kind of, I got to color it again. It's getting pretty faint, but yeah, I mean, I like eyebrows. I like head hair. I don't mind whiskers on the face. I'm not a big fan of shaving, but, I'll do what I got to do. But, leg hair, arm hair, hairy chests. I don't know. Some people are really into hairy chests. It doesn't matter to me. My dad was always telling me, if you eat onions, it'll put hair on your chest. I never ate onions. I didn't want all that. It was like, I don't want that. That looks weird. What's going on there? So, I don't know. I guess it's anybody's guess what we're going to lose or which hairs we're going to lose. But I definitely am all for the ear hairs. Get them the hell out. We don't need them. I didn't need them the rest of my life. Now suddenly I'm growing them. I don't get that at all. That's weird stuff. Weird parts of our bodies. Why, after all this time, though? It's like, hey, guess what? Your hair on top of your head's thinning, but we'll throw some in your ears. Great. Thanks. Thanks for that. All right. I wasn't on the committee for that, so I didn't get to vote. But that does it for the news. I hope you guys feel like you're a little more informed than you were before, and we'll get back to the rest of the show. Yeah, exactly, Wizard Moon. It's like, why am I growing hair down the back of my neck onto my shoulders? It's like, really? What the hell's that for? I mean, why here? Why do I grow that? I gotta always shave that crap. It's terrible. The ear hair lets you tune out. Nipple dreads. What the hell? What the hell, Benno? Nose hairs are pretty gross too. They are, but I mean, they at least serve a purpose. I mean, here's what I don't get. It's like, if they're nose hairs, they should stop growing when they reach the edge, not stick out of your nose like a freaking upside down vase of flowers. It's like, damn it. Why are they, you feel that tickle on your nostril edge and it's like, oh, I mean, it's just stupid. Just grow long enough to catch, stuff before it gets into your lungs. That's good enough. I'd appreciate not having to shave my face. Yeah, I'm with you, Chucky. I'm good with the hair that I chose to grow, but the rest of it can be just done. And I can't grow a beard to save my life. Like if I do have whiskers, they're very fair and they don't look like they're there really. As you can see, I mean, this is more natural color on my chin and my lip, but it gets fainter and fainter, and some of it's getting white. Like it's pretty much all white now, which really sucks. I don't know. Anyway, give another 20, Brent? What's going on? Did I miss something? What is going on? Was there another? What does that mean? Give another 20. I'm sorry if I missed something. I don't see it on the messages. It's a little tougher when I'm reading articles and stuff to catch what's going on. I'm sorry if I missed something, T-Bone. Let me know what I missed. If I did, nose hairs help guide my spoons and forks to my mouth. Nothing. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. You might want to trim those, Rachel. if they're creating a route to get forks into your mouth, it might need a trim. No offense. I love you. You know I love you, but you gotta pull apart the nose hairs and throw in a spoon. There's some grooming that needs to happen. That's a visual I just didn't ever need. Thank you for that. Amy Creel became a member. Oh, God bless you, Amy. Thank you so much. That's wonderful. Thank you. You're part of the portal peeps. Bookers. Yeah, that's the other thing about nose hairs. It's like, it's bad enough we have them, but then, our noses are always creating crusties, and that makes it extra fun when you got a whole forest of nose hairs to farm with. Yeah, nose hairs keep the. Oh no, John, what's that? I can't read that. Hey. Yeah, great to have you here, Amy. Thank you so much for becoming a member. All right, let's see. What are we going to do now? I think we're going to get back to that article from Thought Catalog. We are definitely going to burn through the night. It's amazing how fast 2 hours goes by. It's just a blink of an eye and boom, we're done. So it just goes pretty quickly. But we're going to get to the thought catalog article we were going through before. Before we get to that, though, I want to show you guys this. This is, remember last time we were talking about some repositories for like Dogman and stuff. And BJ sent me this, and this is really pretty cool. And I wanted to share it with you guys because it's a map, and it doesn't sound like it's still being updated, but there is a host of Dogman stories on this page that you might want to check out. It's done really fantastically. It's really, really well done. And it is this page right here. So I'm putting it up, and this is called the Cloaked Hedgehog's Dogman Sightings Map. And it's pretty impressive because it actually, once it refreshes, it's actually a global. Like this person put it all to a map with locations, including a few in Australia, New Zealand one. There's one in Vietnam. But the cool thing is you can zoom in on any part in this map and just click a story. Like I'm up here, up in the north tip of Idaho, and nothing's been reported here. That doesn't mean to suggest there's not Dogman sightings ever happening. But again, for any sightings to get mapped and logged, it's got to be reported. And I think that there's probably tons of dots that are missing from actual encounters that have never been reported. But if you go to like Boise area, once you click on one of the dots, it pulls up the narrative here on the left. And it's really a hell of a site. I just really love that this person did this. Again, I don't know when it was last updated. I think BJ knows more about that. But BJ, this is really cool, and I'm just love this site. And it'll be fun to look through. I mean, you look over here on these. And this is a great example of population densities and how that affects sightings. Because, on the West Coast, you got quite a bit of population. But the inland, northwest and west, there's whole areas where there isn't a lot of people. But then you get past up to the Mississippi River Basin and eastward, well, there's tons of population. So this really makes sense that this is why there's a lot more sightings in the east, from the Midwest to the east, than there is from the Midwest to the west. And it has everything to do with population density. For there to be encounters, there's got to be people encountering it. And then for there to be people encountering it, they've got to want to come ahead and report it. So you're definitely going to get bigger numbers. But yeah, looking at Michigan and Wisconsin, of course, the Beast of Bray Road, this whole basin is pretty thick with sightings. And all the way to the East Coast, Massachusetts, where I'll be in October with Mr. Jesse and Rob and Dave, the guys. New? This is, it's KNEW. KNEW for new. You knew this? I didn't know about this. But thank you, BJ, for this map. This is really cool. Very, very fun resource. I put the links in the chats if anybody wants to check this out. Oh, man, I just realized there's no chat showing up here. Let me figure out why that is. Damn it. Where is it? What am I on here? Oh, there it is. There it is. Sorry. It's already scrolled off the screen, but I'll put it up again in the Restream chat because it's not on the screen currently. That way you'll see it. There is the link for it. Really cool, though. Really great resource. And I don't know what the layers mean. Layer 1 through 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm not sure what that all means. I haven't really taken a lot of time to look through this site. But there's the Cloaked Hedgehog .wordpress.com is the blog. So it'd be neat to find out more, but I wanted to put this out there because these are one of those information resources that I think are fantastic. And I know Cade Moya with the Believe podcast was putting together something like this with all of the different phenomena, whether it's haunting reports, UFO reports, Yowie reports, or etc. And so that's another great resource. I don't have a link handy for Cade's, but just a really cool, ambitious project. And it's all here, folks. I mean, you look at there's a little repetition there, but you can see all of the stuff. Not much from Africa. But anyway, these are Dogman reports or things that are perceived to be Dogman. I just wanted to put that out to you. All red in my neck of the woods. Yeah, Yeshua. That doesn't. The site was hard to find, and just Googling won't take you to it. Yeah, I believe that. But I'm really thrilled that you found this, and I wanted to put the links in the chat so you guys could check it out for yourself and raise awareness about this. I think this is great. This is a whole host of Dogman reports. So please check it out and get a hold of the blog owner. Maybe he can be encouraged to pick it back up again. I don't know if what you said a month after my show. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm reading a piece of chat. When you said you wanted more Dogman encounters, I knew that the cloaked hedgehog was the way to go. Yes, you did. So thank you, BJ. I appreciate that. I know I did get more of Dogman reports, but I haven't gone through those yet. But thank you to everybody that sent me messages about Dogman reports. I think these are awesome. I'm going to plan on reaching out to this person too. Maybe it'd be great to have him on a show and talk about some of this. That'd be fantastic. So anyway, hello, Justin Goodearth. Good to see you over there on Rumble. I see Car Juice is over there as well. And looks like Dog Digger came in too. So great to see you guys. There it is. Good to see you guys. Big D's over there. I got you. I got y'all. Thank you guys for being here. All of you over on Rumble. Keeping the house represented over there. Hello, Paula. You. Great to see you. Great to meet you. Appreciate you being here. That's a new name to me, so I just got to say hello. But there you go. I wanted to put this out there first, and then we'll get into this article, which we've been going through for several shows. I'm going to put this in one of my permanent tabs to start referencing. I think this is where on number 19. So this is a thought catalog article. It's written by January Nelson, and it was written in 2019. 2019, looks like September of 2019. It's 33 paranormal stories even skeptics are going to freak out over. And we're on number 19, so we've got a lot to go. I wanted to throw out a couple of these tonight as, try to squeeze in some every night so we get through the article eventually. But it's great information, and this article's been really fun to read through. So let's check it out, but please check out Thought Catalog and support what they're doing. They didn't do as many of these articles as they used to. I loved checking out all of the Reddit scrape articles that they put out, but it seems to be kind of not something that they're focusing on anymore, but they're still all out there, so you can still reference them and check it out. I don't know why they called it a gonad squid. That's a good point, Justin. I just saw your chat. I don't know. Maybe that's the size of it. I don't know. Maybe that's how big it is. I don't know. All right, let's get to this article. It says, number 19 of this article, when I was a kid, I slept in my room and I saw a lady wearing a black outfit was looking at me behind a window curtain. She just smiled at me. I was paralyzed with fear and wasn't even able to scream. I'd seen her about 3 times in different places in my house, just standing and smiling at me. I wasn't able to do anything, but after I just ran to my parents and screamed, telling them what had just happened. Since then, I haven't seen her again. I wonder what kind of curtains these are, because, was she always behind the curtains? Or just in this one case? But, if they're black curtains, they must have been very sheer so that it could still see the details of this smiling face. But that's got to be horrifying. Sounds like a little kid, too. And that's the tough thing, is when little kids are trying to process this incredibly horrible stuff that would probably make us adults collectively poop ourselves. These kids are taking this stuff and trying to cope. And again, I always try to encourage this. And I know I'm preaching to the choir here, because all of you guys are definitely believers, I think, for the most part, or at least you're curious. But I think you acknowledge there might be something out there. The thing that always is hard for me is when you hear stories of, it's just your imagination, you just had a dream, go back to bed and get back to sleep. Or, a more crabby version of that. Quit waking me up, you're going to go to your room, you're going to be in trouble. It's like, oh my God, this kid is already terrorized. Whatever the kid is, boy, girl, age, whatever. But they're coming to the one safe place that they have, And that's the parents, and they're going, I don't know what to do with this. I'm terrified. I don't know how to handle this. Please help. And then when they're met with, it's just your imagination. You're just imagining it. Go back to your room. So the kid is not only terrified, they come to the safe place that they do have, and the parents aren't trying to brutalize their kids. They're just trying to make them not afraid, because the parents, I guess, just can't wrap their heads around the fact that their kids are actually seeing something. So the kid is terrified, runs to the parents reject that, and then send them back to the place that they're terrified to be. In fact, make them go back to the place that they're terrified to be. And what a lonely, horrible thing for a child. So I just always encourage people, listen to these kids. It doesn't mean that kids don't have imaginations and they're always seeing spirits, but it does mean that they need your help in these instances where it's very real. And maybe it's something you can't see as an adult, but that doesn't mean the kid's not seeing something very genuine and horribly terrifying. So please listen to these kids. Give them your ear, help them through this, because you are the one safe place that they have. Don't take that from them. So parents are the prison wardens. Yeah, they have to be tough. I'm not suggesting that they don't have to redirect their kids. Sure. I mean, I'm a parent. I got 3 boys, and I think with all of them, you hit certain parts of life and you kind of re-aim them. But one thing I've never doubted is when they said they saw something, and it's not like I got this stuff figured out. Believe me, I've made all kinds of mistakes as a parent and things that I, would love to change. But this is one where I've always listened, and so I'm just trying to do my part to help parents to pay attention to that, because kids do see things that we can't see. So anyway, just my 2 cents. That's my soapbox. That's frightening, but I'm glad the person didn't see it again after the 3 times. Let's go to number 20. A few years ago, I'd been out of work for 3 months and had given up hope. On top of that, I'd been getting 20 to 30 spam calls a day, so I'd turned off my phone. Well, I was taking a post-lunch nap. That's probably not a good way to find a job, I'm just saying. When I felt a hand grip my shoulder and gently shake me awake, with a voice saying, "Answer your phone." Ooh. I staggered up, went to my desk, and turned on my phone before realizing what had happened. Around 15 minutes later, I got a call from a recruiter who'd been given my name by a former coworker. Went for the interview, aced it, and I'm still at the job. I've had other weird experiences. We live a couple blocks away from a city cemetery. I'm positive we have tourists coming through, but I don't know if they're lost, bored, or trying to communicate. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Spirit said, "Hey, answer your phone." Good thing. Good thing he answered his phone. Or her. She or he. That's crazy. I think that's maybe a guide. I don't know. I don't know how that works for sure. I know that it's believed we all have spirit guides, people that, that are entities or intelligences that kind of help us navigate life. But is that more of a divine thing, or is that just a loving deceased relative going, hey, it's going to change. Here it is. Here's your moment. Don't miss it. But that's cool. That's a good kind of haunting if that's the case. Number 21, when I was growing up, my mom had a wicker/straw angel decoration. It was as big as I was as an 8-year-old kid, and for some reason, I always hated it. It was creepy, yeah, but I got a weird bad feeling in the pit of my stomach every time I looked at it or had to pass by it, and I always felt like it was watching me almost. When my parents divorced, my mom, of course, brought the angel with her. When she moved out, and in our new house, there was a wall in the living room that had a rectangle cut out so you could see through it. And my mom hung the damn thing up in there, so it was kind of just hanging in free space. With it being there, I swear to God, it would just move of its own accord. There were no vents or anything near it to move it if the furnace came on. One time I was sitting on the stairs putting my socks on or whatever. The stairs were across from the cutout of the wall with a set of 2 more stairs going down between them. And I would see the angel, originally being still, just slowly turn around all the way to face me and then stop, becoming absolutely still. It freaked me the hell out. It happened on multiple occasions, but I don't know how to explain why or how it happened. I mean, it could have been an overactive imagination as a kid, but the turning around and just stopping is really weird. Call BS if you want, but I know what I saw. I almost wonder in a case like that, I mean, certainly things can have attachments, things can have, a presence in them or connected to them. That certainly goes without saying. But in a case like that, I have to wonder if maybe it's not a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like something about this angel really freaked this kid out. And this kid was just radiating and directing all of this fear at this one focal point. And I wonder if by doing that, it created a reality, so to speak. Because I think we manifest very profoundly in our lives. So is it possible that being so afraid of something that may not have initially started with a presence, maybe got a presence just from all of that continued focus and fear? I think that there certainly can be the case that we can manifest in almost a tulpa kind of thing, that we've created a thought form that becomes a part of that angel, and therefore it interacts with you in a really creepy way. Oh, thank you, Linda. Thank you so much, Linda. That's wonderful. Linda gifted 1 membership. God bless you. And Lisa G got it. So congratulations, Lisa. You're a member of the portal for 1 month. Maybe you like it. Maybe you want to stick around. But thank you, Linda, for making that possible. I really appreciate that. You guys are awesome. That is so cool. All right, let's go to the next one. This one is number 22. I think maybe we'll stop after this one because we got a lot more to burn through before the end of the show. Number 22, my house used to be the largest on the lot before our town expanded. It was the largest because it was a funeral home. They sealed off the room with plaster walls where they would prepare the bodies, though. Underneath the carpet in my parents' room was a hatch, too. Well, I've seen plenty of things, heard plenty of things, and friends and family have said they've seen things that I had seen. We have a spirit, ghost, whichever you want to call it, that lives here named Abigail. She's a trickster. She likes to hide things, move things, open doors sometimes, or just tease the dogs. Whenever my aunt comes to visit with her family, small items tend to go missing. Items like her toothbrush that she set by the sink 2 minutes ago. Oh, that's annoying. The things here, and there are a few, aren't as active anymore, or maybe I just don't see them or notice them much. Well, that's good. Yeah, I mean, certainly in a lot of cases, people can outgrow that sensitivity that occurs in their younger years. And I've got a few theories about that, but I think that's possible that, you may outgrow it, or just your focus in life changes. And by changing your focus, maybe it's not affording as much energy for them to interact with. I don't know. I think if you focus on something enough, getting back to the manifestation idea, it can create an experience or create experiences. But as we grow and as we change and as our focuses change, sometimes that stuff dies down when our focus dies down. Like, we're not as focused on that. Maybe you get a new job. Maybe you don't have as much free time to focus on that kind of stuff, or any number of reasons. But I always want to reiterate that I think that we are profound parts of our experiences, that we are in some ways facilitating these things, probably mostly on a subconscious level. But I think that there's a lot of truth to that. I can't substantiate it. I can't quantify it. I can't really explain it, but it's a gut feeling. I think we are much more in control of these experiences than we think, but we just don't know it. How's that for a conundrum? There you go. You're welcome. More of that kind of wisdom every show. I mean, what's not to love? I say a lot of things that I can't explain it to you, but I believe it. There you go. You're welcome. I'm not really saying anything, probably in retrospect, but I'm just sharing my feelings. I think that we are incredibly powerful and capable in and of our own right, and we don't realize our full potential, that we are capable of amazing things. We just have never been taught this. So maybe we subconsciously create them, much like a poltergeist experience. And I'm not suggesting that there aren't intelligences, energies in their own right that might be in our world and may come to interact with us or affect us. But I do think that sometimes we may create them and or create things like them and have experiences that our own fear is causing us to experience. But I don't know. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm trying to. I'm trying to make sense. Kids can see so much more. Absolutely, Benno. And that's okay. Oh, thanks, Benno. Right on, Brett. Cheers. I don't know. I often throw out ideas on this show, and again, they're my own ideas. And I encourage all of you guys to come up with your own conclusions, much like the question of the week. Like, I can't possibly know and prove to you what I think is true. I'll just tell you why I think it. And if that has merit to you, great. If not, then that's fine too. I could be absolutely wrong with everything I say because we just don't know anything about this stuff, really. Hello, Owl. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Hello, Jose. Good to see you, man. Jed Maxwell, good to have you here. But yeah, it's great to see you guys. Going to miss tomorrow night's show. We'll be at the football game. I don't like late starts. Well, fair enough. Have fun at the game, Elaine. I hope it's a wonderful game. All right, that was the article, at least for tonight. We're going to get to some more of it. Maybe I'm going to try to clean up that article, finish it up for tomorrow's show. That way this article is done and come back with a fresh article when I come back from the conference next week. Well, the week after when I do shows. But we'll start back next time with 23, and we'll continue from there. So that was the article. Hope you guys are enjoying it. I like that article. I've really enjoyed those experiences. Most of them I've never heard before. Sometimes on these articles, you'll find that maybe other articles that use the same message threads will farm the same comments, and that's okay. It's all right if we get redundancies or repetition on some of them. They're still fantastic stories. Hell, I like hearing stories that I've heard a million times with this stuff, because I try to listen to everything and come up with new ideas every time. So there it is. That's the stories so far on that article from Thought Catalog. But now, well, I guess it's 7 minutes after. I guess we better get to the next part. Two Shadows is here. My mom used to tell me it was my imagination. Years later, she confessed she saw them also. Just didn't want me to be scared. Took a long time for me to see again. Yeah, that's tough because, these people that love us are trying to protect us. But in turn, I think that they're numbing our senses. No, there's nothing to see here. It's just your imagination. It's just a dream. Go back to sleep. It's fine. And it tells kids, don't trust what you're seeing. Don't believe those lying eyes. But then you want to get back in touch with it again. And it's like, oh, oops. I was seeing stuff. Hello, Timothman. Timothman. I'm going to try to pronounce that correctly. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. And anyone I missed, but good to have all you guys here. Thank you. So it is now time for the next part of our journey, and this is a journey that I've really enjoyed doing. I think you guys have enjoyed it too, but we're going to get into it now.
What the hell is that?
What the hell is that? That's the question for sure. This is a segment that we've been doing to go over a lot of different evidences, video, photographic. I've got both some picture stuff to go over and several videos with you. Again, I don't own any of this stuff, but I think it's worth exploring and worth kind of dissecting as much as we can. Sometimes I'm going to say, well, I don't believe this one is legit, and here's why. Sometimes I'm going to say, hey, this could be legit, and here's why. Never do I mean to imply that somehow I'm a gatekeeper for this stuff, that what I believe in, you should believe in, or what I don't believe in, you shouldn't believe in, because I'm only evaluating it with what I can see. We can't seriously look into any of this stuff. We can't interview the witnesses. We can't go to the locations, look for other possibilities that could have created a specific phenomena. So all we can do is just look at these as they are and weigh them out. Does it make sense that it could be? Some of them are really compelling, really amazing, I think. Others are really cheesy, I think. Doesn't mean I'm right, but I'll share with you what I think. Because I got a microphone and you get to hear all of what I think. So the first one we're going to get to, I got to always resize these. So my apologies that it takes me a few minutes to pull them up and get them ready. But that didn't quite work. There we go. But here we go. Going to get to the first one. This one's kind of cool. It's a bit of a long clip, but many times throughout the course of the show, we've talked about crop circles. And there's a Facebook page. I think this is not obviously the owner of this video. It's a very well produced video from somewhere. I don't know the backstory on it, but it might have come from UFO secret files at UFO_secret_files. It has to do with crop circles. Now, I know that crop circles are kind of a charged topic for some people. No pun intended. If that is a pun or not, I don't know. But this one was pretty interesting in that it might be a response to something that we sent out in space a long time ago. I think Carl Sagan came up with the original message, and this is believed by some to be a response to that. Now, this is not a brand new video. It's been around for quite a while. Again, I think it was part of a show or a documentary or something like that dealing with crop circles or extraterrestrial contact. So you be the judge. Again, I don't own this, but I think it's great to look over these things, see what you guys think. Now, I will say at the end of each of these videos, I'm going to ask you, give me a 1 if you think this is real or a 0 if you think it isn't. So I do really like the opportunity for us to weigh in on it. And don't be afraid to say what you think. 1, you think it's real? If you think it's real. A 0 if you think nothing to see there. No, just a bunch of bunk. And that's okay. Because again, we don't know. We don't know. So let's check out this first one. I think it's all framed up right. I don't know what I'm going to be able to show because there is a lot of narration on this, but I'll show what I can. And it's small. I wish I could blow it up more, but I don't know how to. And it's, again, from Facebook, but this is coming from Ahil. But it says here, at UFO_secret_files. And this is the crop circle. I'm just going to play it for what it is, and we'll talk about it as it rolls here.
Wisps of crop spread around in no system.
I wish they could do this without music, though. It's just, the music is always what kills my channel. I always get these notes. And it's not really a copyright strike as much as it is, hey, you played this music, now you got to share any revenue this gets with whomever. But it's great. So I'm going to maybe turn it
However,
down.
in the evening with growing shadows, a picture appeared. Unmistakably that of a face.
So there you go. I mean, so it looked on the ground level like it was just a bunch of tufts of disturbed grain or whatever. But when they got up high, this is what you see. Now, again, with crop circles, it's hard to imagine somebody with a ball cap and a wire circle on it and a board with two ropes attached to it can stomp out this in just a quick amount of time, usually overnight. And some of these are just incredibly ornate. So that's the first part. It gets better, though.
That picture represented a whole new technique, a screen technique, the same that's used for printing a picture on paper.
Also, it kind of emulated the pixels, I guess is what they're saying, of a photograph.
3 days later, the face was joined by something that looked like a data strip. Soon, an astonishing similarity is discovered.
Here's the interesting part.
In 1974, the astronomer Carl Sagan composed a message that NASA sent into space from the Arecibo telescope in Puerto Rico. Binary figures,
Interesting.
which constituted a graphic code presenting key factors about humans and the planet we live on. 27 years later, an identical pattern appears in a crop field right in front of a similar radio telescope.
So this is where it's interesting. So the originally in the 70s or whatever, Sagan's message went out, was beamed out, and I think it was part of the Voyager as well, but I might be wrong. But this was beamed back as like a response. And I think it's phenomenal and could be some of the most compelling evidence of crop circles yet. Now, I don't know. I'm going to put a link to this if anybody wants to learn more. I'm not going to show much more of this because, it's not not fair for me to rebroadcast their video in its entirety, but I'm just broadcasting a little glimpses of it. There's the video link there. It's on Facebook. You can watch it, or I'm sure you can find other versions on like YouTube or whatever. I'm sure if it's on Facebook, it's on YouTube, it's on, any number of other locations. But what do you guys think? And it seems like the aliens beamed this back with responses to the questions. Basically, the original message included, here we are, we're people, here's samples of our numbers, here's some basic, understanding of our language. We're a carbon-based life form, and that's part of what the squigglies here are. And then this was like a response back. And I can't remember what they were, if they're nitrogen-based or something else. Anyway, but, and then this is, I think, some kind of location in the cosmos or anyway, where we are and who we are was beamed out. And this response came in a form of a crop circle after that picture with maybe a response for them introducing themselves. Hell, maybe they're driving the giant rock that's on its way here. I don't know. What do you guys think? 1, there's something to this. Or 0, nah, you're not buying it. What do you think? Please vote in the chat if you would. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Again, I know you haven't watched the whole video. If this is brand new to you, it's really cool. Real or not, Benno says. Yep, could be legit. Last Light says. Bill Simone's all in. Okay. Barbara's all in over on Rumble. Let's check it out. Elaine's all in. Rachel's all in. Cryptical Crossroads halfway there. Owl's all in. Good Last Light's all in. 1 Ice Cube, it's cool. Yeshua, Joanne's all in. Okay, I want to believe. I just don't know. Fair enough, spiraling. I think that's fair. We can't be definitive just based on these little clips and bits of information. Just does it seem like it might be plausible. Chucky's all in. Cat Doherty, T-Bone are all in. Drake's all in. Bogart's all in. Car Juice over on Rumble's all in. Very cool. Yeah, I think it might be. The truth is out there, right? Jose's all in on this one. Bogart's in. Lenda's all in. Okay. Well, thanks for voting. I appreciate that. And again, the link is in the chats if you guys want to check out the video in its entirety and then look for more information. Don't ever just look at one source and think you got the whole story. Definitely look into this. There's a lot more articles and information and people's takes of it that you should research. But it does seem kind of compelling. I think this might be one of the most compelling cases of crop circles being legitimate that have occurred. But you be the judge. I'm cautiously optimistic. The alien invasion is near. I think they're already here, Flat Six, honestly. I don't think it's near. I think it's already happened. Maybe they've always been here. They just kind of look like us enough that they get by with it. Or they can make us think that they look like us. Like they live, right? Yeah, fair enough. Who would think to come back with that kind of answer? Yeah, I don't know. That's what's interesting is that it seems a direct, and it's responding in direct correlation to the message that was sent. So I think that's amazing. All right. Very cool. Let's go to the next one. I believe you're probably right. Yeah, amen. So I like being right. Sorry. I'm an idiot. You should know that. If you're new to the show, now you know. All right, let's go to the next one. That was the first one. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and definitely get more information. Don't just take it from little snippets. When you find out things like this, like I said, research them, dig into them. Here is another video I just found. This one's kind of creepy. Is it real? Well, I'll tell you. What I can tell you, I don't know that what we're seeing here is real. However, the reactions look pretty organic. And by that, I mean they don't look like they're staged. But could they be? Sure. There's people that are incredible actors. And there's people that suck at acting. So, I don't know. You be the judge. What's going on in the setting for this one is, it looks like it's happening in a home. Obviously, maybe it's in the tattoo artist's home, or this tattoo artist has this mobile table and does on location tattoos for people. Maybe they do house calls. I think that's probably likely, but watch the video and you're going to see some things happen. And I'll ask you to what you think. Do you think it might be real or not? Let's check it out. Here's the video. It's coming from Terrell Wagner on Facebook. Again, I don't think Terrell Wagner owns this clip. It looks like it's coming from @ScaryEncounter from Instagram or somewhere. Looks like an Instagram logo on the screen there, like a watermark on the door. So check out @ScaryEncounters or Encounter, and I'm sure you'll find a whole host more of excellent videos. But let's check out this one. Here it is. There is volume on this, so... and it's no music I recall. So here it is.
I think that would look really cute, like especially like if I blend it in, like blend the two colors.
So the table moved.
What happened? The table just moved. What the fuck do you mean the table just fucking moved?
Little language, sorry.
In the name of Jesus, leave us the fuck alone.
A lot of language, sorry. Watch the chair on the table next to.
God.
Watch this chair.
Fuck! Hell no!
Okay, I'm going to mute it now. It'll replay again. I think it's still going. But watch the table that she's working on with the tattoo stuff. Kind of gets pulled away. Her reaction seems genuine, like, get away. Now, the other thing to watch is over here, because they're like rebuking it in the name of Jesus. And then this chair shoots out also. She sits up going, huh? And then there it goes. Boom. And they're both like, nope, out, out, out. So it seems like it's genuine reactions of fear. What do you guys think? Did we watch spiritual activity happen for these people? Or do you think this is fake? Give me a 1 or a 0 in chats. Let me know what you think. These are a little tougher because they're easy to fake. You could be, it's kind of maybe not unusual, but I always wonder why people have these cameras in their house pointed at them doing whatever they're doing. And I guess maybe it's a great security idea to have cameras inside. Bill Simone's all in. Don't think the effect will work using curse words in it. Yeah, probably not. Aussie Tiger's all in. John Stevenson's all in. Bogart's all in. Michelle Wolfong. Two Shadows. Yeshua. Karen Alberting. Wizard Moon all in. Tim Mothman's not buying this one. Fair enough. Lenda's all in. Owl is not sure. Shrugging shoulders. Flat Six, not so much. Two people, two dookies in fear. Yeah, absolutely, Benno. BJ's all in. Jose's halfway there. Cryptical Crossroads, Josh Casto's about a quarter of the way there. Joanne's good with it. Never take the Lord's name in vain. Yeah, that's probably, I think it was probably just a reaction to being terrified, honestly. I don't think they meant to cuss over that. If B. Arthur's in, I'm in, says Mr. Dave Scott. Mr. Dave Scott, good to see you, brother. Betty White himself in the house, ladies and gentlemen. God bless you. Riley says staged. It could be. You're right. Again, we don't have much to work with. Just this little glimpse of a moment. I don't know a backstory. I don't know if the location's known to have a lot of activity or if this is absolutely unusual, but it's just working with what we got. Does it look like it could be real? Well, to me it does. I think the reactions seem pretty real. Like the way they jerk up once that chair shoots out. It's like, nope. And that the tattoo artist almost goes the wrong way and goes, no, I'm not going towards it. I'm out of here. So I think the tattoo artist was going to like go for the door. I think it was going for the door over here. And it's like, no, maybe I'll go to the kitchen instead. Anyway, that's what we got. That's the second one. I think it's pretty good. Could it be real? Yeah. But again, it's not hard to fake that kind of stuff. And they could be being set up for a prank. Could be somebody having a good yuck with some fishing line just snagged around, and they're sitting over around the corner yanking things. Could be that. So it certainly could be a prank too. But I think those experiencers are really experiencing something. But it may not be legitimate activity. So there we go. That one's there. Let's get up another one. Again, I got a bunch of these. I don't know. We'll keep going. If it's fake, it's good or bad advertisement for the tattoo artist. Yeah. You get a free tattoo and an attachment all in one. There are stories, by the way, of tribal tattoos. Like tattoos that were done in a very tribal manner with the tribal practitioners doing tattoos on Western people. And these people had issues after that because something happened. Like something very spiritual happened. Now, tattoos are currently, they're just an expression of body art. But in many cases, tattoos had huge symbolism and meaning in a lot of cultures. And so they were rites of passage. They were brands of anything from bravery, wisdom, achievements, etc. And some were meant to inspire, if somebody was going to become a spiritual seeker, they may get a specific tattoo that would help amplify that with very sacred symbols. And there's plenty of stories of people getting sacred symbol tattoos and having some pretty wild experiences. So I think that tattoos can be incredibly powerful. So there you go. Let's go on to the next one. That's the tattoo. But there's more. All right, this one, I don't know if we're going to show this or not. Well, this one, now maybe I'll skip that one for now because this is a photo one that I wanted to show you guys. This is coming from Matthew Moneymaker, and you might know that name because he was one of the original stars of Finding Bigfoot, and continues to be active in the community, even though he's not on a TV show currently. He is still actively involved. He is still the founder of the BFRO. And I know there's mixed feelings about the BFRO, but I think by and large, it's a great resource, and it's been a great repository for claims and reports. And so this is an image that he's reporting on. And so, and we don't have a lot. I'll try to zoom in as much as I can. But I'm going to give you the backstory from Matt Moneymaker himself. This is coming from his Facebook post. Attention, Missouri, Poplar Bluff area. Trail cam photo of a Bigfoot-like creature on private land. August 20th, 2025. It's not a clear image, enlarged and cropped, but it is authentic, and it shows the size of these creatures compared to the humans. The two cropped images below are from the same camera looking at the exact same position. A full report linked below contains the uncropped versions and more. Poplar Bluff is roughly halfway between St. Louis and Memphis, Tennessee, St. Louis, Missouri, and Memphis, Tennessee, and some commenters who didn't bother to look at the full report with the uncropped images somehow thought they are snow-capped mountains in the background. That's just the sky visible among the trees. And then he's kind of scolding the people that are making comments. So here you go. Here's the image. Now, interestingly enough, it says trail cam photos from Poplar Bluff, Missouri, halfway between St. Louis and Memphis. On the left, unidentified hairy tall creature in creek, and on the right is a 6-foot tall human for scale in the exact same spot. I'll zoom in as much as I can. I got to move it over a little bit here. There we go. I'm going to keep zooming in as much as it'll let us. It looks like that's about it. Here's a 6-foot tall person, male. Here's the creature. And looks enormous compared to a 6-foot tall person. So this is easily a foot taller than this, and much more broad and muscular. So I don't know. I think this could be Benno. Matt Maker, Moneymaker. What the hell is that? So I think it could be a great capture, honestly, guys. I don't know the background. I don't know anything more than what I just read to you. But if this is legitimately a capture that is unedited just from the trail cam, and this is having a person stand in the same location, being that much, this is a 6 foot tall person, so that's a good sized man, but yet he's dwarfed by this creature. So I don't know. It appears pixelated. Well, sure, it's all zoomed in, Benno. It is a crop from a much larger picture, and I will send a link into the Facebook page here. You guys can look at the uncropped versions if you'd like, but they're just zooming in to show you what got caught. And it does sound like it's sincere and legitimate, but you be the judge. And I know that Matt Moneymaker can be one of those, I don't know, maybe a lot of people have mixed feelings about Matt Moneymaker, but I think what they did with Finding Bigfoot was good, because they created a conversation that we're all having now, or at least helped to push it forward. So there you go. You be the judge, and you can think. Are you looking for the little ones? Maybe. Hold on. Wait. I thought I had a couple little ones somewhere. Sorry. Mrs. Portal needs battery. I'll look. I don't know right now. Sorry. Had a battery emergency. Live on the stream. But anyway, I think this one might be real. So go ahead and vote if you haven't. Bigfoot just coming into this dimension. Yeah, you never know. Yeshua's all in. Bigfoot has a tackle box. Oh, no, I think that's the reflection. There's a consistently square reflection. It's on both images, so it's catching something in the background. It was just more, I don't know, the way things were blowing or whatever between days. This is just the sky again, the background poking through the tree canopy. So Matt Moneymaker apparently ignores the woo in people's sightings. Yeah, I don't think he's real big on that, or at least that's not part of. But so does Cliff Barrickman. Cliff Barrickman's not big on the woo part. I don't know if he has any room for it, but I think he's pretty firmly in the ape camp, and I think Matt Moneymaker's at the same place. I don't think this is an ape, but I do think it's some relic hominid that still's around. But it's also might be something else. So Big D says, yeah, he's all in. A lot of ones. I haven't seen any no's. Hard to tell. Fair enough. Man from the West kind of looks superimposed. It's hard to say. Again, it is pixelated, so it's hard to pick up any detail. But when you're zoomed in this much, I guess it'd have to be run through some filters to see if this has been clipped in somehow. But I would hope that before posting it, that was part of his. I don't think Matt Moneymaker's a slouch, like he would just post any willy-nilly thing. I think he probably does some bit of a background on it, and probably pretty comprehensively, honestly, because that's his reputation. And I think his reputation means everything to him. So you be the judge. Anyway, I think it's a pretty good one, honestly. I think it is. I don't see anybody saying nope, but looks like Barbara Moore is not all in on this one. That's fair enough. And we can't know, but I just thought it was a good capture, and we would discuss it. And any of us could be right. We could be right, could be wrong. I don't know. But I wanted to share it with you so you guys could see it and just see what you guys thought. Again, I wish I knew. I wish I could look at these things and just know. Now, I wanted to include this one because this is, I don't know if you guys remember, but one of the first, what the hell is that? We had these guys in this abandoned cabin, and they were crawling underneath looking at the structure of it, and suddenly there's footsteps on the wood floor above them. In this abandoned cabin or house out in the middle of nowhere. Sounded like boots walking right above their heads. They shoot out, and they're looking around. There's nobody around. This is the next part of that same video when they're looking around. It's just a short clip. It's 21 seconds long. But I thought I'd include this because I have watched the full video before, And it's really pretty compelling. I mean, I'm pretty sure these guys really encountered something they weren't prepared for. They weren't looking for ghosts. They were just looking at old structures and discussing how things were made. And then that happened. So here it is. Here's the next part of it. Again, it's a little out of context. I should have pulled up the other video as well, just so you could see that. But this is after they've heard the boot steps and they're looking around. But they end up hearing more.
Sounded just like footsteps. That's not funny. No.
So they just heard something else.
All right, you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Not funny at all.
No, not cool.
Hello?
So there you go. That was the next video, and it does show both guys, but that's not what their channel's known for, but they stumbled into it. So I'm not going to ask you to vote on this one because we already discussed the really good part, which was the boots right over their heads in an abandoned cabin out in the middle of nowhere. And this is them looking around afterwards going, hello, hello, somebody here? Because they swore somebody's just walking on the floor right above them when they were underneath. So very cool. Glad they circled the guy. Yeah, you got to circle the guy. Red circles make life easier. I don't know why they use red circles, but and my position's always been, if you need a red circle, it might not be the best evidence. Like, evidence should look like evidence. And I guess there's many levels of evidence, though, right? So maybe it's okay, but sometimes the red circles just drive me nuts. All right, let's get to the next one. The next one. All right, I'm going to close that one. I think we're getting through them pretty good here. This one I thought was cool. This is some kind of car rally or something. It was actually captured in Florida. I think there's a mundane explanation for this, but I'm going to show you guys and see what you guys think. Allegedly, they thought they captured some incredibly fast object coming through the sky. However, I think there's a much more mundane explanation for what you're about to see, but I like to do these too because it's things that people, I think, need to be aware of when you're evaluating evidence. So here it is. It's apparently coming from Sebring, Florida. It's from alien.related on Instagram. And I haven't checked out the channel, but I'm sure they got a whole bunch more. But let's look at this evidence and see what you guys think. I don't know if there's music or not, but let me see. There it goes. You see that? I'm going to mute it now. We're just going to let it play. Did you see that object come through the sky like, vroom, just going? Vroom. Here it comes again. Wait. Yeah, here it comes. Okay. Did you see that? Seems pretty impressive, right? Seems pretty impressive. I want you guys to remember that lenses are they're an arc. What you need to remember is that in the course of this motorcycle going by, you'll notice once that headlight appears, that dot appears. The cycle's going this way, the dot goes opposite that way as if it was reflected. I think what we're seeing is a reflection of the headlight of that motorcycle refracting on that lens and appearing at a different part on the sensor. So I'm pretty positive that that's exactly what happened here. It does on its own look like, wow, that was definitely a UFO shooting across the sky, but right there, boom, it's there. And as soon as the motorcycle's out of frame, so is that dot. So that is, I'm absolutely positive, is an example of lenses being curved. The light from the motorcycle hits down here, but it's refracted into the sensor, which is back here, and it appears to be in the sky because it's picking up the light that is being reflected by the curved lens. So it was just the cycle that created that anomaly, but it's very convincing. At first blush, it's like, oh my God, what a great capture. But it appears exactly when that headlight, boom, there it is, and then goes through the frame at the same rate the motorcycle's going the opposite way. So that is my explanation for it. I don't think we're looking at an actual UFO capture here. I think it's just a great moment to talk about how cameras work and how you get false positives. And that is definitely what's going on here. I'm absolutely positive that that's what we're looking at. Boom, it's in the frame. Boom, it's gone. And it's the motorcycle kind of curves as it goes, and that light kind of curves and goes up as it's going across the screen. So there it goes. Perfect synchronicity between the two, but I wanted to demonstrate that for you guys so that you could see that that's something definitely that's got to be considered. Yep. Why only the second bike? What do you mean? There's only one bike. There's only one motorcycle in the screen. There's other lights back here, but these are all tail lights. They're not going to be but that's a really hot headlight right there. Boom, there it is. So it's a short clip. So it's only the one bike going through the scene, Justin. Yep. 2 minutes behind. Oh, yeah. Sorry if there's lag. If you're coming in on the stream or if you got lag somewhere, you might be at a different point. But at least you can see this. I think that makes sense to me. I'm going to stop. Boom. So right there is the hot spot. And it is like where it would be reflected. It would be like reflected in and then bounce like up here. When you stop it, you can see it's wider. I don't know what kind of headlamps he has, but I bet the bulb looks kind of like that inside of there. Yep, there it is. Just like when I thought a light on a crane was a UFO. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's lots of false positives. Why isn't that chat up there? Ugh, I forgot to re-enable it, didn't I? Let me get this up. Where is it? There it is. Boom. Sorry, the chat wasn't even on the screen this whole time. So now you guys can see the chat. Okay, so there you go. And it continues. If I play, stop, boom. So it's there. It's just after the halfway point. His headlight's just over the halfway point here. So it's like a perfect counterbalance in position. And then boom, boom. Then it's gone. I can't stop it any quicker. So let's let it roll through again. Here it restarted. There's the headlight coming. And boom, almost on screen. Boom. Yeah, it's exactly the same point. It's just in the frame, just in the frame. So it's like a mirrored, refracted light. Yep, and just almost out of the frame, just almost out of the frame. There you go. So I think that's exactly what that is. I thought it'd be a good teachable moment. Somebody could talk. I like teachable moments. There you go. I think I got one more. Well, let me look. We might just wrap it up there and head to the cryptid corner. Oh, this one I definitely wanted to show you guys. This one, ladies and gentlemen, I think this might be great. A great visual example of somebody getting absolutely messed with by a spirit. And I don't know. Gut feeling, I think this might be legit. But you be the judge. I do want you guys to vote on this, because I think this could be an incredibly profound capture. It's on a security camera pointing outside this guy's door. He's coming out the door and going along his sidewalk. All right, I'm going to put it up on screen so you guys can see, because I want you to be able to, I want to make sure to move things out of the way here. So that's not what I want to move. This is what I want to move. Let's put this over here. There we go. Get it out of the way. I want you to focus on this block right here. This is the money shot in this image. And this little brick is here. The guy's carrying something and walking. Watch what happens, but focus down here on this brick. This is coming from The Other Side 2.0. It's a really cool channel on Facebook. Check them out. I really like their channel. They got a lot of stuff like this. But this is a great capture, I think. But again, you be the judge. I don't know if there's music. I might mute it right away. It's not really important. The music or whatever they're saying is not important. I just want you guys to watch here. Watch what happens with that brick on the ground. Look at that. How in the hell did that happen? That brick flipped into the way of his foot coming down. Does that make sense to you? I think that's an amazing capture. Like something was just screwing with him. And what a crappy thing. I mean, it's really, really shitty, honestly. It's like, oh yeah, you should probably lay down now. On the morning of April 9th, 2003, is that right? He captured that. So it might be that old, but what are the odds? He tripped. I need to see that again. Yeah, it's looping right now, so keep watching it. His foot doesn't touch it that we can see. The only thing we can't know is there some kind of string involved that might have flipped that brick and it was just a matter of chance. But it's like it flips over, and this is a brick. It's not like a cup or something that might be a little. Yeah, I saw it move. Yeah, it does launch about the same time his foot comes up, but I can't see any indication that he in any way was attached to that brick. And I don't understand it. But we often talk about trickster spirits. And it looks like his foot caught in something. I don't know. Yeah, but if it did, I can't see it. I mean, I've looked and looked and looked at this clip. I'm like, my God, that's a great capture. And it just ends up in the perfectly wrong place. Like something's just going, oh, is that you, Barry? I don't think so. Like it certainly got brake pedaled. I don't see any string or anything. Yeah, I don't either. I can't. His foot's not resting on the brick. It's not even touching the brick. And he does just a normal stride stepping over to make his, to plant his foot. And at the same time, that brick gets flipped by something and ends up under his foot and makes him roll his ankle. I mean, it's horrible. I think it looks legit too. Go get him, paranormal team. I'm really convinced. This is a great capture. And again, this is The Other Side 2.0 on Facebook. So you can find so many more videos like this, but wow. I think that's a rare capture, an incredible capture. He kicked the 2x4. What 2x4? There's no 2x4. This is a patio block, and then there's a seam, and there's another one here. So there's like a gap between the patio block where that brick was resting against there on the little wall. But there's no 2x4. That's actually a concrete slab and another one, and there's a gap between them, maybe for drainage or whatever. But it just really boggles my mind, and I feel bad for the guy because that's just crappy. But he kicked the other block. Could have set a spring. I don't know. I mean, all we can do is examine this by what we can see. His name's Roger Tolbert. I mean, it says it on the video. So, I mean, he's putting his name out there. He must be convinced about what he experienced. But, again, just very curious. Very, very curious. Boom. Boom. Yeah, I like this one. I think it's very legitimate. What do you guys think? 1 or 0? 1, you think it's legit? Yeah, his foot looks odd. Well, yeah, when you step down on a brick, it definitely makes your foot odd. I want to know what you guys think. Vote on this one, please. Yeah, watch his head. Yeah, I mean, I've rolled my ankle several times, and I'll bet you that's exactly what my head looks like. Bogart's all in. Yoshua's in. Sharon, nope, she's not buying it. Lots of zeros. Bill Simone's all in. BJ's not buying it. Cryptical Crossroads. I don't know. This to me is really good evidence, but I respect your opinion. You guys can certainly weigh in with what you think. Man from the West, all in. Rachel, Elaine. Bristol's halfway there. Aussie's all in. Joanne's all in. Mike Prine's not buying it. Fair enough. Jesse's all in. Thanks, Jesse. Got my back, brother. Appreciate that. Looks real, but really odd. It is odd. I mean, I don't know. Bricks flipping into the way of your foot. I don't know how. I just don't understand the mechanics of it. Looks like most of you are in. Chucky's not buying it though either. Oh, Chucky, that's 10 demerits. I'm just kidding. No, I love that you guys have differing opinions. I think that's important. Tim Mothman's about 3/4 in. I give this one a solid 1. Cool Hands all in. John Stevenson's all in. Halfway there, Benno said fishing line. I mean, we can't see that, and I think all we can do is just judge it from what we're seeing. Could it be hoaxed? Could it be spring or fishing line? For sure. His foot could have been tangled on a line. Hell, there might be a fishing line wrapped around the block, and that's what screwed him up. I don't know. We just don't know anything. But, I mean, it could really be excellent evidence, too. So, I mean, that's the tough part of all of this, is how do you substantiate something that nobody can really evaluate other than what you're seeing? And you really can't. You really can't substantiate it, and it's all up to the individual. But could it be? Yeah. Could it be hoaxed? Absolutely. I will give you all that for sure. It could be hoaxed. There's about 15 ways you could hoax that and make it look really believable. But I am impressed that he put his name on it, Roger Tolbert or whatever his name is, and that to me is a pretty good sell. Because if you were going to hoax it, I don't think you'd put your name out there. But maybe he wasn't in on the hoax. You never know. Might have been some, really shitty nephew or something trying to screw with grandpa or great uncle or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. But there you go. That's the last one for the what the hell is that? I just really like this one. I'm really compelled and fascinated. I've seen things move with my own eyes that I know it wasn't me, and I've experienced that. And when I see videos like this, yeah, I mean, I got a confirmation bias, sure, because I've never seen a brick flip other than this, or Ghost Adventures original documentary that they came out with first. But other than that, yeah, this is pretty new. And I think it's a great capture. But again, nobody's right, nobody's wrong. We all have our opinions, and I thank you all for voting. That is cool. Gramps was in stripes. He's had training. There you go. All right, well, let's get back to the rest of the show here. We got the Cryptid Corner to rock it all out tonight, so let's get to that. Do anybody want to see? Here, I'll put the clip. I'll put the clip link in the chat, and you guys can look over it yourself. Maybe on a bigger screen than what you're looking at now. But I think it's a good capture. And again, it's mostly a gut feeling, like I'm really looking at something supernatural, but I could be wrong. There might be something I'm missing. Maybe if you watch the video on a bigger screen or can see it better, you'll see something that I'm not seeing. But that's really cool. Bet he was sore after that fall. I bet, yeah. I bet he was, because I've rolled my ankle very much like that. Not because something was flipped into my way, but because I was an idiot. And I'm here to tell you, rolling your ankle is a special kind of suck. Anyway, let's get back to the rest of the show. Let's get to the Cryptid Corner. Because it's time, folks. We got to head to the cryptids. And we're going to start with Sasquatch Chronicles, actually. So let's get to that. Here we go. It's time to get to the Cryptid Corner. If I could figure out where that is. There it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Cryptid Corner, where we're going to visit some stories of cryptids. The cryptozoological creatures, if you're not familiar with the term, are creatures that aren't substantiated by our established sciences. Doesn't mean they're not real, but people are claiming to bump into things that aren't supposed to be there, and we call them cryptids. So we're going to start on SasquatchChronicles.com, and this one's from August 29th, which is today old. This is Wes's newest edition. And it is, thank you, T-Bone, for the link. Appreciate that. That's for Sasquatch Chronicles channel, YouTube. But this is the blog, so it's SasquatchChronicles.com. A listener writes, well, it's called Cursed or Blessed. Let me say that first. A listener writes, sending this from my iPhone, so forgive any typos. I emailed years ago about a couple of experiences I've had, And the reason why I labeled the subject cursed or blessed is due to the fact of several unusual encounters in the state of Georgia. My first happened when I was around 15 or 16 with my cousin. But we'll circle back to that later in my story. My visual encounter happened in April of 2001 with my family. We were traveling to Hilton Head in Atlanta, and we had left early in the morning at around 5:30 a.m. We wanted to catch the first ferry to Dowfuski Island, I guess. I'm just guessing here. I don't know. Dowfuski Island made a good time due to how low traffic, and we're heading down I-76 east in Georgia. I know the area well since we have hunting property in Adrian, Georgia. Permission to hunt. Well, good, they're not poaching. Thank you, Kelly Santaford. God bless you. We were just east of Vidalia, Georgia, heading towards the coast in very light traffic. I was in my truck with my wife and parents. My parents were in their SUV, and they were following us. We were pretty much side by side coming to an area of I-76, or I guess that's 16. I should wear my glasses. I-16, where the median widens due to the area, and we're coming down a slight decline. I was in the fast lane, my parents in the right lane, and there were two cars in front of me, and a semi in the right lane in front of my parents. I can still remember the color of the cars and the make of the lead car, a silver or light gray Ford Taurus. The semi on the right was an older Peterbilt with a long nose, Mac blue in color. Anyways, we were 100 yards or so behind the Taurus and the semi, and we were coming into the heavily wooded marsh area, and we came down the hill. I saw a figure come out of the swamp/marsh from the south crossing the eastbound lanes. This figure bounded up the embankment in a split second and crossed right in front of the semi, and within 2 or 3 steps, it cleared 2 lanes. I would mention I could see the head over the nose of the semi as it crossed, and both the semi and the Taurus slammed on their brakes, as did the car behind the Taurus. I can still remember the fluid movement of how this figure crossed. It was dark in color from head to toe and seemed to be covered in hair. As it crossed, I saw it disappear into the median, which is heavily wooded and was more or less a marshland. As my wife and I looked at each other in disbelief, my cell phone rang. It was my mom, and her first words were, "Did you see that, and what was that?" My immediate response was, "I don't know." "And did you see? What did you see?" Well, by now I was catching up to the semi, and I leaned down, looked up, and the truck driver mouthed, "What was that?" with my hands up. I can still remember his face and expression. He had both hands on the wheel, almost white-knuckled, and he looked at me, eyes wide open, and just shrugged his shoulders. As we drove, my wife and I kept questioning it and how fast it moved. I only saw it cross the eastbound lanes, but my wife watched it come out of the median on the westbound lanes and move up another embankment and disappear into the woods. I can tell you we got to the ferry and headed to the island. Once at our cottage, it was the topic of the day. My parents, being devout Christians, don't believe in Bigfoot or other unusual phenomena, but after questioning my mom, she had no explanation or logical answer. Based on the speed or movement, this being my only visual encounter. I've had 3 other instances in my life that I can't explain. Let me say that the first occurrence happened while night fishing in rural Georgia. Buchanan, to be more precise. My cousin and a family friend were night fishing in a John boat on a small pond around 11 or 12 p.m. We had something scream at us from below the dam, and then we heard something crash through the woods coming towards us. Now, my cousin and his friend grew up in the country and lived in the woods, and they both seemed panicked by that noise. As we heard it come up the dam and hit the bottom of the dam, we could hear clear footsteps moving across. We immediately started paddling back to shore. I had an old Coleman lantern that I was holding up as we moved back to shore. The whole time we heard this thing moving around the pond towards us at a fast pace. We hit the shore, jumped out of the John boat, and just ran to the truck. We jumped in the truck and took off. My cousin's house was just a few miles down the road, and we went in and really didn't talk about it. The next day I had to ask what he thought it was. My cousin said it had to be a bobcat or a mountain lion. There's been rumors of a black large cat in the area at the time, and that was the last we spoke about it for decades. It wasn't until a few years ago my cousin, now in his 50s, as well as me, said something at Thanksgiving dinner. He looked at me and said, "You remember that night fishing with our friend?" He looked at me in the eye and said that was no cat. It was something way bigger. Now, I'll tell you, he's a Baptist preacher, and I've asked him multiple times what he thought it may be, and he just says, "I don't know." Wow, that's crazy. It is pretty incredible how territorial they do get, but I always assume that they're pushing people away because maybe there's a family group with some little ones in there or something, and they just don't want people anywhere near. And yeah, I can appreciate that, but it's weird because oftentimes when Bigfoot are sighted, they're like, and then they just kind of do their thing. They just go. But in some cases, they get incredibly territorial. And it just makes me think they must be protecting a family group. That's because it's such a contrast to behavior. Like, oh, people. And they don't seem to care. A lot of sightings are just like the Bigfoot looks, acknowledges that there's people, and doesn't even pick up its pace. Just like, and then just continues on going where it's going. But in other cases, like this one, they do all kinds of territorial displays and intimidation just to push you the hell out. And that's, I don't know. I mean, it's just speculation. We don't know why. But that's what occurs to me is it must be a reason. And maybe the reason is there's a whole group of them there. And some of them are very vulnerable. So let's go to the next one. Well, I guess we're going to go a little overtime here. This one's a short one, though. It's from August 28th. It does exist. A listener writes, I've been listening to you for a while now, and I've started an email to you several times, but just never followed through with sending it. I've never told anyone about my encounter, with the exception of my wife, and I didn't tell her details, just that I seen a Sasquatch when I was a kid. My encounter happened in Central Virginia when I was 9 years old in 1982. Well, it seems like yesterday because I remember every detail. I grew up in a suburban neighborhood, but there were hundreds of acres of forest behind my house. There were motorcycle trails and game trails. My friends and I would go back in these woods to play and smoke cigarettes. Reminds me of my youth. I went back one evening right before the dusk by myself, and I was sitting on a log, I think it meant log, but it says long. I was sitting on a log just off one of the game trails when this thing startled me by seemingly appearing out of nowhere. I was absolutely terrified, but I couldn't scream. In fact, I couldn't move. Funny thing about it is I knew what it was. I knew immediately that I was seeing a Bigfoot, or in my young mind, the one and only Bigfoot. I immediately remembered the episode of Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom where Marlon Perkins said that Bigfoot and the abominable snowman did not exist. I told myself that I was going to call him and let him know that it does exist. Anyway, the whole story would take a long time to tell. I'd love to talk to you about it. I never caught that episode of Wild Kingdom. I used to watch that. I used to love to watch Marlon Perkins and his show Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. It brings back a lot of memories. I was always watching nature shows whenever I could. But that's cool. Yeah, very, very scary encounter, though. Being a young kid, oh my God. Well, there you have it, folks. That's the Friday show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I should have mentioned that. Yeah, Sheldon couldn't be here tonight. He's getting ready to come out here and join me at Phenomicon. So that should be great, but he's got a lot of things to get ready. So he needed the night to gather himself. So anyway, I'll be back tomorrow night. I don't know that I have anybody joining me, so it might just be me tomorrow night. But that'll be the last live show again before I head off to Vernal for Phenomicon. Vernal, Utah, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a great show. Hope to meet some of you guys. If any of you are going to be in the area, it'd be great to see you. Thank you, Tina. I appreciate it. Great show. Aw, that's so nice. Thank you to all of you guys who donated and all your kindness. I really appreciate it. Again, I know not everybody can do it, but please know that there's lots of ways to support the show. If you just like it, if you just hit a like before you leave, that helps. If you're watching it when it's not live and you leave a comment, that really helps. So, and let people know about the shows. That really, really helps. So just try to spread the word and help me get the word out there that we're doing a show. So that's all I got for you guys. Tim Othman, thanks for coming in, man. It's great to see you. I appreciate you coming and hanging out. And thank all of you guys. I really appreciate it. Good to see you, Bill Simone. Good to see you, Linda. Philip Blair. Good to see you. Well, there's a conference going on in Vernal, Utah. It's called Phenomicon. Go to phenomicon.net and you can learn more about it. But I'll be there over most of the next week. So up into next weekend. So it's a busy, busy time for me. But I'm still bringing you the shows because I love doing this. And I'll be back tomorrow night. Last live show before I take off. And make sure you're subscribed. I'm going to do at least a couple, I hope, live streams from the event just to walk you guys through it, show you what's going on in Phenomicon. But if you have notifications enabled, you'll get notified that I'm going live, because I'm not sure exactly when it's going to happen or what day or what time. It's just going to be impromptu. So keep your eyes peeled for impromptu streams next week. But I guess that's it for me now. So until tomorrow, I'll be back, and I hope to see you guys back here again. Tomorrow's Bring a Friend night, so make sure you bring a friend. I'm just kidding. That joke never quits being funny. Someday I'm gonna be surprised because you guys are gonna actually bring friends and be like, whoa. I think many of you have. So thank you for all the love and support. That's gonna do it for the show tonight. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.